And weren't you like on a national televised
Oh,
program?
more than one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was on 60 Minutes.
60. I was about to say
Yeah.
Good Morning America.
I sat knee to knee, face to face with Lesley Stahl.
That's what I could
That was
remember.
pretty intimidating.
Yeah. So, Dave, what I want to do is love that you're here with us today at the incredible Gas South District, and want to hear from you. You are literally the expert that I've gone to for years. I know many corporations have gone to you to discuss AI and strategy, but let's introduce yourself. Can you tell us a little bit about your background and where you are today?
Sure, absolutely. So I'm Dave McMullen. I'm the president of Media Frenzy Global, and we are a marketing firm that sort of focuses on B2B technologies, products, services, manufacturing, and you know, what we're really good at is helping companies with complex products and services move those products and services, communicate that message, and get it out there. So the way this came about was for almost 2 decades, I ran a company called Red Pepper. I actually owned an agency called Red Pepper, and I exited that. But Red Pepper was this creative agency, lots of technology. We were very innovative in the work that we would do. In fact, so much so that we actually had innovation lab in our agency, and companies like Verizon, Mars would come to us. Even Deloitte would come to us and help, and we'd run innovation projects for them. So we were always kind of on the front edge of technology. Well, about 3.5 years ago, I met an awesome lady named Sarah Torville who had a company called Media Frenzy Global. And this is after I exited Red Pepper, and decided, she and I talked for quite a bit, and we decided we could take this communications company that was still B2B tech, did a lot of communications. Her background is Motorola, Expedia, like global communications for these companies. So we started talking about what would the combination of those two things look like? Like if we brought in this corporate communication and understanding, this ability to brand and do communications and marketing, along with keeping up with the technologies that as it was happening. Of course, this was before the crazy AI wave, but we had always been tinkering with marketing technologies, consumer technologies. You know, all of the MarTech world. There's thousands of different tools that marketing people can use. And so we were helping people navigate that. Well, as AI came online, we were very quick to jump in on it, and in fact have jumped out ahead of most as far as AI goes. So that's where we arrived today, and I'm glad. I appreciate you considering me the expert in your life. I don't know what that means. You may not have many.
I think it's fair for the listeners if they understand me. That was not a compliment.
That's right.
The bar is so low.
I'm an expert compared to you.
Compared to me,
yeah,
right.
On this one topic. Yeah, that's right.
Well, you did a lot of innovation. You had the labs.
Yep.
But I remember this very cool thing, and I'm going to totally butcher it. It was FaceDeals. FaceDeals.
Yeah.
And you were so ahead of. I was blown away. And weren't you like on a national televised program?
Oh, more than one.
Yeah.
I was on 60 Minutes.
60. I was about to say Good Morning America.
I sat knee to knee, face to face with Lesley Stahl.
That's what I could
That was
remember.
pretty intimidating.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Just share that story because I don't know that people know that, and that's incredible.
Yeah. Well, so what happens is if you think about the way, so we started our business in 2001, right? So it's right as the dot bomb is blowing up, right? Mm-hmm. In fact, it was between the dot bomb and 9/11. What a great time to start a business.
I remember my 401k going down and then going down again.
That's right. Yeah, twice. Yeah. So, but we knew technology was going to be a lot about who we were. So if you think about over those almost 20 years, everybody wanted a website. Why do they want a website? Well, we don't know. We just know we need a website. So we built websites, right? Then it needed to be mobile. Then social media came on. We need a Facebook page. Why? We don't know, but we need a Facebook page. Well, then digital transformation, all marketing needed to be digital and measurable and all that. And so all of these waves, we were out there at the front of them. But inside of each of those, there were little pieces of technology that were launched that we knew we had to be on the front edge of. Like one of them would have been Siri, right? Remember, there was quite a buzz when all of a sudden you could talk to your phone and it would do what you asked it to do. So we jumped out and we played with that and we created some activity with that. Little things like QR codes, right? When QR codes became a thing, we said, well, how do we implement this before a customer asks for it? Well, our fun way to think about it was, I wonder if we can do a QR code with Oreos, some open and some closed. And so we made a QR code that out of Oreos, and it actually worked. Believe it or not, it was very cool. So one of those things was facial recognition. And you will probably not remember this, but when Facebook was trying to grow, they had a thing called Facebook check-ins, right? So you could go to a restaurant or a bar or someplace anywhere, and you would check in, and your friends would know that you were at the Applebee's or whatever, right? Groupon was a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Right, remember that. And then Facebook's trying to capture all of this business with its own check-in and deal-making and all that. Well, the other thing happening at this moment was facial recognition. Right, and it was freaking people out. There was a lot of news about facial recognition, and do we want this? And what are all these cameras everywhere? And just people were, frankly, overreacting to this technology. But it was a thing that made people nervous, and now we look at our phone every day, and it recognizes us and opens up. Right? Yeah. So, but this was on the front end. So we said, well, what if we put a camera at the front of a restaurant or a store? And it used facial recognition to recognize folks as they walk in. It went to Facebook and checked their likes and preferences, and then offered up deals and opportunities inside of that establishment they just walked into, as well as checking them in, like doing the Facebook check-in. So we combined all those technologies into one. And we basically said, we're not sure what to do with this, but it was a lot of fun to create. So we put a video out that showed how it worked, including the background. We even showed a little bit of code. And that video went crazy viral. It got picked up all over the place. CNN did a segment on it. By the way, I shouldn't call them out, but the segment they said it did a lot more than it actually could do. They didn't even call us, and they just ran it because it was super scary.
They were fear-mongering.
They absolutely were.
If it bleeds, it leads.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I would still to this day talk to that reporter and ask him where did he get all this information from, but whatever. So, but then we got a lot of, because of all the press, real press started calling, including CNN and others. We were on Wolf Blitzer called.
Wow.
And then 60 Minutes calls. And they're like, we want to come out, we want to see the technology work, and we want to interview you. And boy, that was a nerve-wracking moment, right? So we're like, okay, let's do it. Let's give it a shot. So there's a video out there of me and Lesley Stahl walking into a restaurant. The app worked, thank goodness. We both got little deals. She asked me about it. We talked to her, and then went back to the studio, which was in our office. Mm-hmm. They created a studio in our office, and I sat across just knee to knee, open chairs with Lesley Stahl, and she starts grilling me about facial recognition and could the FBI use the videos? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm a marketing guy who created an app. It was so much fun, but it was really interesting. And I remember sitting down in a studio kind of like this, and I jokingly said, hey, make sure you get my good side. I want all the lighting right. And the guy looked at me and he goes, no one cares about your good side. That was Lesley Stahl's crew. The whole scene was to make her look good.
Right.
And boy, oh boy, did they.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I think I remember this from this same thing. This always, as soon as you said it, this immediately came back to me, was you'd have, maybe this was like the phone knowing I was in Home Depot or Lowe's and going down the aisle and I'm looking at tools or something, and it would recognize where I was, and all of a sudden a coupon would pop up from Black & Decker.
That's right.
Was that part of the story?
Yeah, so that was the evolution,
Okay.
right? So we discovered, well, one, we got so much press, we said, well, maybe we should turn this into some kind of business. Because that was not the intention. We were just playing with the technology, right? Mm-hmm. But then we said, well, let's give it a shot. Well, we discovered pretty quickly that the facial recognition thing was not going, one, it wasn't as good as we hoped it would be. So it was a lot of misses. And we thought, well, why scare everybody? Let's just let them opt in and opt out. And so you go to, what is it called? Near field, basically Bluetooth. So you use this every day as well. Location-based marketing is a whole thing. So you drive near a restaurant or drive near a store and it pops, ads pop up or whatever. And when you walk in, your phone can recognize a Bluetooth beacon inside that store, and you could walk around, and it's down to like a couple meters. So you could be standing in a section of the store, and it can talk to you and send you ads.
So that was the next evolution.
That was the next evolution.
Okay.
And even that now is old, by the way. So
Yeah. All right. Well, Dave, very cool reminiscing, but clearly, as you stated, and as I know the work that you've done, both on the firms you're with, you're on the cutting edge.
Try to be, yeah.
Yeah.
The practical cutting edge, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Because in the end, you are offering a product or a service.
That's right.
And you got to have a customer.
Exactly.
At the end, you're just having fun. It's a hobby if there's no customer.
Yeah.
And so AI, which is just it's incredible how fast it's moving. And a year ago, it seemed like 80% of the people I talked to were afraid of it. And now 80% of the people are using it. And it's like you have to dip your toe in. But you're so far advanced from where they are. Talk to me about it as you're dealing with clients or you're either a strategy client or a marketing client. How has it changed the way that you present you and your company?
Yeah. Well, the main thing we do now, and this just what you're experiencing, right? 80% of the people you talk to are using it for their individual use, right? And so we want our entire company using it on a regular basis. So, and the main thing is the most practical use at the moment for almost any of the applications, by the way, it doesn't matter if it's ChatGPT or any of the others, Gemini, it doesn't matter, is for thinking and writing. That's the most easy, straight up, go forward use. And you and I have talked about how we can use it to help make emails smarter, and whether it's an article, a blog, all of the writing and thinking. And we do so much of that communication that we immediately picked it up and started using it, and we're like, wow, this is amazing. Knowing that a human had to edit it when it was done, right? And so we're encouraging our clients to do that, and I personally think everyone ought to be using it in that way, because it's going to become more and more of a tool in our lives. And so just getting comfortable with it, just gaining some experience with it is worthwhile. And it's cheap and easy, and you don't have to upload your personal story and all your private information, right? You don't have to do that. I think we're probably fooling ourselves, so we don't think a lot of that's out there anyway. But I think so. I'm encouraging people to do that. That's level one, though. Right? That's just level one. What we ought to be doing already is available to us is to build agents, right? You think about I need a person to do a job, right? Well, now you can ask an agent AI to do that job, right? And so think about processes that are repeatable, any kind of in our world, personalization. This is a dream come true for most marketers, because now we can actually do personalization and customization at scale, right? That is a huge game changer if you think about the way people market things. So I think this first level is just use it, and we encourage people to do that, including our clients. The second level is this idea about building agents and multiple agents that can accomplish a job for you. So, we were talking about you were using one of them and it kind of knew your voice, and it kind of knew who you were, and you thought it was pretty accurate what it said, how it was going to express your language, right? The way you talk.
Yeah, this was in a previous conversation.
Yeah.
I've have it really almost be an editor. Make it more friendly, make it more technical, make it more of a corporate executive spin. And in doing that, I probably have been doing it for 6 or 7 months. I typed in to ChatGPT, what is my voice? And it just spit out the exact way that I communicate. And it clearly knew my background, and it knew all of the editing and the thematic messaging I wanted over the last 7 months. And it spelled it right out.
Yep, that's right.
It knows my voice.
That's right. So you could, for some of the things that you do every day, maybe not you, but for some of the things that we people do on a daily basis, you can now create an agent that just does it. It can be your voice. It can be with the way you would have done it, and it can just go do that job or write that document or whatever. Especially the first stab at it, right? And so what we're learning is people are still a little bit leery, right? And some clients I have that say, we want all in. We're all in on it. Do as much as you can. We want all of it. And others are like, no, I need a human to start this idea, and a human to bless this writing or this document or whatever we're creating, this piece of creative, anything. So we've basically split our business into 2 paths, and we let our clients choose those 2 paths. One side is the craft, the human craft of it, right? Writing and creating and campaign building, strategy, all of that is mostly done by a human, but maybe assisted by 20% with AI. But then we have this other side, and we're just sort of creatively calling it the fuse side, where it's the opposite. Now it's 80% AI doing and writing and creating and developing and designing, and 20% oversight by a human, right? So you could imagine that side would be faster. You'd get maybe the efficiencies of AI, but you also get the expertise of a human keeping an eye on it. So more and more we expect it to be on that fuse side, less on the craft side, but we'll probably always have craft thinkers and strategists and writers and developers even and designers. We just still need that human element. But boy, oh boy, it's fun to play with the other side and make things fast and exciting and new and different. It's just amazing what we can do now.
Are you getting pushback from these ideas? Even with Fuse sounds so interesting, right? But you're saying it's 80% driven by machine learning.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a pushback from prospects or clients? And if so, what are people? In no specifics, obviously. Just what is the concern?
Yeah. Well, we deal a lot with fintech clients, just as an example, right? And so you think about the data that they've got access to that they cannot let out, right? And so we just draw lines. We say, if we're going to be building these two AI tools for you, on the marketing side, that is, don't give us access to your client information. Don't give us access to documents. I mean, so the things that marketers use are this public information, right?
Okay, right.
It's readily available.
Yeah, a fintech company would have a lot of restraints and banking restraints.
No question about it.
Securities exchange.
That's right. So we don't play in that space, right?
Okay.
We draw a line and say, what we have access to, what we want access to. We don't give us anything that you don't want to become public, right? And so that's a level. But the other thing they have to worry about in a lot of cases is the output, the language that is spit out by these things has to be approved by legal. And for a lot of our clients, you think about an enterprise client, they can't just write a blog and publish it, right? It has to sort of be blessed and go through all the processes and all that.
All the filters.
So you think about the bureaucracy that existed before AI. Well, now they're even more nervous because a human didn't, quote unquote, write this. So what we've done is, we've had to navigate that in multiple ways, right? So just as an example, we built an AI tool that customizes output, and we could talk about what we're doing for the chamber in a minute, but that customizes output, right? So we put an ad out, and the prospect or the customer reacts to that ad in a certain way, maybe answers a question or clicks one button instead of another, or what. It just gives feedback to the company, right? And then the AI takes that feedback and produces a custom response, literally personalized just to you. So because you either answered a question in a certain way or you clicked differently than someone else clicked, or we can go quickly search and see who you are, right? Mm-hmm. Then we serve up personalized, customized content from that brand or that company, right? So that means the output is infinite. It could be completely different for every human being. Now, can you imagine how a legal department might be a little nervous about that?
Absolutely. I'm nervous about, I would be nervous about AI generating any external communication without a human looking at it.
That's right.
I mean, it just makes me nervous. And let me give you a reason or two why. This is so elementary. This is AI 101. I'm going on a trip somewhere, domestic, international, doesn't matter. And I first tested it on places that I'd already been. And I remember putting in a city, 4 days in the city, what do? It recommended a museum that did not exist.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, I've been here. I can't find the museum. It just made up something.
Hallucination.
Okay, is that what it's
yeah,
called?
It hallucinates.
Okay, so here's another good one. I don't know about you. I lived in the same cul-de-sac for almost 30 years. We just habitually go to the same restaurants. It doesn't even matter if we love them or not. Like there could be a new restaurant 1 mile away. We just our brain doesn't think of it.
It's Sunday night. It's time for Five Guys.
So we have to go to the same place. Sunshine Chinese is our go-to.
Nice.
Next to Waffle House in Swanee on PIB. But I was like, let's see what ChatGPT, give me the top 10 restaurants in Swanee. One of the restaurants never existed. I could not find the address, location. I'm like, I've never heard of this place.
Yeah.
I'm so interested. It hallucinated it, I guess. You've set up this formula for it to spit out some communication.
Yeah.
And what happens is it hallucinates.
Yeah, well, that's you got to protect against it. And I don't want to get too technical here because no one will care, but there are ways to protect
Well, I
against
would
that.
understand it.
One, I'll just give you a tip based on two examples you just gave. Like Gemini will be much more friendly with searching things on the web for you on your behalf, right? Because it was created by Google.
Okay.
Makes sense. So ChatGPT kind of has to filter the way it looks, and it can't just go immediately grab. It's getting better, by the way. I don't know when you had that experience, but it's getting better and better.
Oh, to be fair, that was in my very beginning
Yeah.
of use of AI. I was trying to figure it out.
Yeah. So what you'll see
And
is
my searches on ChatGPT today are they're citing
correct.
exactly where they got it from.
That's right.
And it actually it's gotten much better.
That's right. Yeah. So that citing is what has helped clean up some of those errors, right?
Okay.
So you can go check it. You can just go fact check it. And by the way, just a prompt you can always give anytime you're prompting AI. At the end, you can say, "Thank you for this output. Go fact check everything you just gave me." Just tell it to go fact check itself. That's just a tip for later. Yeah. But the other one would be
time out.
Okay.
Why did you say thank you to the machine?
I know. You know what's funny about that? This is so bizarre. They are now telling us to stop that because just thanking and polite language, the way people interact with AI, is taking up all of this storage space. Like they don't want you to do that. Actually,
I heard it's costing in regards to energy and storage
Yeah,
space
it's nuts.
$1 million a day.
it's crazy.
So you could prompt it to do something in Gemini, cross verifies it in Copilot.
Oh, yeah.
And has ChatGPT check all the standards and
That's right.
Okay,
That particular one, that example you're giving requires a little bit of connectivity in the middle, but even that is becoming more and more simple to do, right? Less and less coding. There's low code ways to connect all those LLMs and all that.
Well, I want to capture two things before we wrap up.
Sure.
One is you've brought some creative, interesting things in this really cool tool. We're very proud of our customization, but you've done some automation of it at the Gwinnett Chamber of Commerce with our membership.
Yep.
Do you want to share with the listeners what you're doing for us?
Yeah, sure. So one of the amazing things about the Gwinnett Chamber of Commerce is that you guys somehow support all business, right? So you have small business, even solopreneurs, right? All the way up to enterprise agencies. You have nonprofits, you have government organizations, and you bring all these voices together, all these people coming together, but each one of them has their own priorities for what they'd like to get back from their engagement with the chamber. Well, the way it works now is, the way it worked before was your team, who are amazing, have to meet with each of those people and kind of develop this engagement plan for the year. Like, how are you going? What events should you be going to? What events could you potentially sponsor? How could your people get engaged? How could they get involved? All of the programs that you do. It seems like a ton, right? It seems
It's
like
hundreds, yeah.
Yeah, hundreds every year, right? So how does a person navigate that? Well, so in this case, what we do is we've created a simple little agent that lets folks say, that just as a Q&A, I think it's 10 or 12 questions. What are you trying to get out of the chamber, right? What is your business size? What are your goals for your business period? And what are your goals for the chamber? Do you have women in leadership needs? Do you have young professionals that you'd need to be engaged with? Or are you more interested in leadership development, business development, economic development, like all of these things that the chamber has? We ask the folks just very quickly, I think it takes 2 to 5 minutes to answer these things because you know what you need out of the chamber. And then use those answers to produce a customized engagement report for that member. And so now they look at this and it says, well, look at these programs, look at these events, look at these ways to engage, and it's customized personally for them. And it only draws from, hopefully it doesn't hallucinate and create events that don't exist, but it draws from the knowledge base that the chamber has, right? Their calendar, your calendar, the experiences and the things that people have done in the past, and it serves up this custom engagement plan, right? And I think the early feedback has been very positive.
It has, and I obviously tested it myself. I was very impressed.
Good.
But what was really interesting, we've always done that, but it's been a sit-down one-on-one.
Right.
Right? But so before that meeting, it's been scheduled, but before you attend that meeting, at least a week or so before, you'll do I'd call it a survey.
Right.
Whatever. And it asks questions. produces the report. And you're going to sit down with that same membership rep, but they're now going to go over this customized report, and they might add to it. They might say, I would prioritize this a 1, 2, or 3, but it's really taking that incredible one-on-one experience really just to another level.
Yeah.
And it's making it, because we're never going to ask the detailed amount of questions that the 12 to 15 question. It just, people don't want to sit there and be surveyed,
Right.
but they've already done the work.
That's right.
So now we're really fine tuning it. And the membership representative, which I, by the way, agree, they are fantastic. They're seeing it in advance, and they're getting really prepared, and they're able to have to cook on it a little bit.
Yep.
When they would have just been responding.
Yep.
And they're all very good one-on-one.
For sure.
But if you have more time to actually digest a recommended plan and sit back and think a little, you could just fine tune it. And that's what they're doing. So I think it's made us, number one, more efficient, but it really has made us better in regards to listening and hearing and having an opportunity to resonate on something before actually going to share the plan.
Yep.
By the way, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good plan.
Where we are now, and maybe the near future for AI, is that anybody can use it, right? But if I said to you, hey, here's an AI that can help you create your own house. It's going to make you into an architect, and you can do your own next house. You feel good about that, or would you prefer an architect was the one interacting with that tool, right? So,
Well, for sure, but also legally, you have to have an architect to actually.
okay,
stamp
maybe
it.
maybe that was a difficult example, but my point is, folks can grab these tools, even that are sort of AI based, that are marketing oriented, and can attempt to do them themselves. But forgive me for this for a little bit, but there's a little element of garbage in, garbage out, right? If you don't know what to put into that tool, right? You are an expert on you, and you are an expert on the way you write and the way you talk. So that's always going to be good. But if Mike is a great writer, what he puts into that AI tool and what he gets out of that AI tool will be different. It'll be a different level, a different layer, right? Same thing with marketing tools. If you have marketing expertise interacting with this tool, that output will be better, right? Because you can check it on both ends. And so that's my view on the near future with AI. Just like websites, just like Facebook pages, leaders are going to say, we need AI. Get AI. Go get AI. Why? We don't know, but we know we need it. Sounds cool. Sounds good. It's going to save me money and make me money and all the things. And then especially marketing teams go, we have no idea where to even start. What do we even do with this? That's where an agency comes in, right? It's because an agency will be studying, well, at least the right ones will have been studying these tools and have the expertise to combine with them. Now you get the efficiencies and the expertise, right? So that's what we're trying to build.
Well, I think you answered my last question, which is, what does the future hold?
The long-term future we know is Terminator, but the short-term future is
Dave, can we give you a prediction? Should we start hoarding, building bunkers?
That's right.
Your answer is you should have already.
That's right.
Should already have a bunker.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it's too late at this point.
So, okay, before the Terminator, in the more near future.
Yeah, I think before the Terminator, what will be interesting is you can, right now you think about how many apps you have on your phone, right? You probably will not need any of them in the, let's say, mid to long term. You will just interact with your phone and it will do the things that all those crazy apps do. Right?
Wow.
That's what's coming. So software applications, those are already being produced much faster by much less technical people. And so eventually I want to just say, like you might say, hey, I want to create a trip to South America and I want the flights, I want the hotel reservations, I want all the things to experience, and it will just do that. Right? You won't have to open the airline app, you won't have to open the travel app, you won't have to open, the Homes app, it'll just do it.
You give a prompt based on my past positive experience or my past. If you just looked at my Delta flight, because I've got 20 years worth of using Delta. I've been using the same Amex for 20 years. If it just took my habits, it knows what I want.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. So that's what's going to happen. Now, the real question is, will you even need a phone? But that's maybe a little bit further out.
Apple says yes.
I'm sure they do, yeah. But everyone's trying to solve that device thing. Yeah, that's a little bit further out. But
I do have a theory on why we do not have to lose any sleep on Terminator.
Oh, good.
Okay, and you actually just mentioned it. It's our phone. And what is the number one problem people have with their phones? The battery.
Right.
We cannot produce a phone with a battery. Think how big the battery must be, or how long the cord's going to have to be for Terminator to actually continue to chase you.
Yeah.
It's intent. The ability of a robot, all the moving pieces to run like a human to chase you down. There is no battery in the world big enough that would last for more than 5 seconds.
Right.
We have billions of dollars and the smartest people in the world trying to solve the battery issue.
Right.
And we are not making much progress.
That's true. Yeah. So in Terminator, they use like nuclear energy. In the Matrix, they use solar energy first. Remember then when you're not a Matrix nerd?
I mean,
Am I the
love
only Matrix nerd
I
in
love
here?
Matrix 1. I just don't remember the solar.
What was Neo? Where did he escape from? He was a battery. They turned humans into the
Oh,
batteries.
that's right. Why are you saying it's solar?
It started with solar.
Oh,
you got to be
okay.
a Matrix nerd maybe to understand that.
Okay.
But yeah,
all right.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
or just a nerd, Dave.
100%. I embrace it. I embrace it. Yeah.
Hey, I really appreciate it. Thank you for your engagement and involvement. You've got a role, some roles at the chamber.
I do.
What's your new role?
My new role is treasurer. Yeah,
so
I'm on
you're
the
in charge of
executive board.
all the money.
That I don't know. I don't know who put the marketing guy in charge of the treasury, but that might have been a mistake.
I think we put the business guy.
Okay, that's true. Yeah.
Yes, that was our theory.
I do have that side to me. Yeah.
Yes. Kim Hartsock, who you'll be replacing, was an actual finance MBA finance person. So
Excellent. I know her well. I can lean
the
on
bar,
her for
the
advice.
bar is really high.
Yeah, for sure.
And so she is our chair-elect. She'll, in 30-some days, she'll take over as the chamber chair.
Yep.
And you're replacing her on that date as treasurer. And the good news is there's a whole finance team and a CFO
Oh gosh, yeah.
to protect you from yourself,
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
from the AI takeover.
That's right. Yep.
Okay. Well, Dave, thanks so much. Appreciate you joining us.
Enjoyed it. Thanks, Nick.
Thanks.